I stood at the edge of a crumbling cliff, heart hammering like war drums, knowing a single misstep could send me tumbling. My name's Jim, and for years I concealed a fire in my chest, a fire craving a life no one in my family could ever understand. They wanted me to mirror their perfect world, but I was a spark they couldn't extinguish. Until the night I finally broke free, and the price left a wound I'm still tracing. Before we get into it, subscribe for more gripping stories like this, and drop your city or hometown in the comments. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Let's dive in. In a sleepy Virginia suburb, our home was a shrine to expectations. Polished floors, framed diplomas, every corner shouting control. My younger sister, Leah, was their pride and joy poised articulate, her laugh a melody that charmed every neighbor. Me, I was the dissonance. I holed up in my attic room, paint-streaked hands bringing jagged cityscapes and haunted eyes to life, while metal music screamed through my headphones. Dad, a bank manager with a smile for every client, would storm in, voice sharp as a blade. "Jim, why can't you be more like Leah? Stop wasting time with that paint." I clenched my jaw, his words burning into my skin. Mom, a part-time florist obsessed with perfection, would add, "You're letting us down, Jim. We have a name to protect." Their love was a blueprint I couldn't follow. I wasn't their son, I was their failure. Rules ruled our home. Speak quietly, dress neatly, conform. But conformity felt like a noose around my neck. One sweltering August evening, Dad hosted a bank gala. Crystal glasses, stiff suits, polite chatter about investments. I was summoned to play the good son. In the mirror, I saw defiance. Ripped jeans, leather wristband, blue streaks in my hair. I wanted them to choke on the real me. Mom caught me on the stairs, eyes narrow. "Jim, you look like a street punk. Change now." I squared my shoulders. "This is me," I said, voice low and steady. Leah swept by, her dress glimmering like a lie. "Why do you always make it hard, Jim? Just play along." I wanted to scream. It wasn't about playing, it was about surviving. Dad's voice cut like steel. 5 minutes, Jim. Clean up." I swapped my jeans for slacks, washed the streaks from my hair. But in the car, silence weighed heavier than the humid air. Watching suburban blur, I vowed, someday I'll live where my fire can burn. My attic became my fortress. Walls alive with murals, blazing skylines, fractured faces, every stroke my truth, but their voices still seeped in. One night, mid-painting, Dad burst in. "Turn that garbage off, Jim. Why aren't you prepping for law school like Leah?" I snapped my brush against my knuckles. "I'm not Leah. I don't want her path." His glare chilled me. "And those misfits you hang with, tattoos, no future. They're dragging you down." Mom added, sharp as a blade, "You need friends who match our values. Kids who aim high." I stood my ground. What if I want to choose my own life? They looked at me like I'd cursed their world. Mom's parting words sliced through. "We've mapped your future, Jim. College, a steady job, security. Don't ruin it." Security. The word felt like a cage. I laughed, raw and hollow, and bolted the door. Months later, pacing the town square, rage coiling in my gut, I heard the low hum of an engine. There she was, Sophia, straddling a vintage motorcycle, jacket frayed, grin daring the world. "You look like you're about to explode," she called, her voice warm, cutting through my haze. I glanced toward home, then back at her. "Maybe I am." She gestured the bike. "Get on." I swung my leg over, the engine roaring as the wind tore through me. My fire blazed alive. We landed at a dive bar, neon flickering, air thick with whiskey and regret. Over stale pretzels, Sophia shared her world, restoring bikes, chasing open skies, living untamed. "You ever feel caged?" I asked, fingers drumming on the table. "That's why I ride," she said, eyes fierce. "Freedom's a choice you make every day." Her words were oxygen to my fire. With her, I saw a life where I could burn bright. Sophia and I became inseparable. Midnight rides along winding hills, her laughter blending with the engine's roar, hands steadying mine as we dreamed of a world that was ours. She wasn't just rebellion. She was proof I could be whole. One dusk, parked on a bluff with the sky, bleeding red, she turned to me. Jim, you make every road feel alive. I want you in every mile of my life. My breath caught. I said yes, the word sparking my soul. Love meant facing my family. I brought Sophia home, boots scuffed, hair wild, every part of her middle finger to their world. Mom went pale. Jim, who is this? Dad's voice was steel. What do you do, girl? Sophia didn't flinch. I restore bikes. I love Jim and will build something real. Dad scoffed venomous. A grease monkey. You'll destroy him. Mom's voice shook. Jim, think of your future. I gripped Sophia's hand. This is my future. Dad's final words fell like a guillotine. Choose her, and you know son of mine. Issue Sophia. We left, doors slamming, their rejection leaving scars I refuse to let define me. We carve out a life of grit and raw hours. A tiny loft, murals climbing the walls, Sophia's tools glinting in the corner. I took freelance art gigs. She rebuilt engines, coming home with oil on her hands and fire in her eyes. Her dad, Marco, became my anchor, gruff hugs grounding me after the family I'd lost. But the past clawed back. One morning, a news ticker froze me. Dad caught funneling bank money, his reputation in ashes. Mom's voice crackled through a call. Jim, we're ruined. Leah won't help. We need you. I stood in our cluttered kitchen, Sophia's hand on my back. You said I was nothing, I said, voice steady. Now you need me. Dad's yell exploded. You owe us. I hung up, eyes stinging, fire roaring free. The gut punch, their perfect daughter covering for Dad's schemes, proved I owed them nothing. I owed myself truth. Now, I'm a father to Ava, our daughter, her giggles brighter than any dawn. Sophia and I ride endless roads, hands locked, my fire no longer hidden, fierce mine. If this story struck a chord, if you've ever fought to burn bright, hit like, drop your fight in the comments, and subscribe. Let's keep chasing lives we ignite, not the ones we're handed. See you on the road. By Betrayed Blood.